This is chapter 7.1, ratio and proportion. A ratio is a comparison of one amount to another amount. Please remember that the denominator cannot be 0. We're going to go ahead and do some extra examples. We're going to simplify the ratio. So we've got A as 8 inches to 4 inches. You are going to see this could be written 8 inches. Actually, let's do that in a minute. Let's go ahead and simplify. 8 and 4 are both divisible by 4. So you divide by 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2 inches. 4 divided by 4 is 1 inch. So it simplifies to 2 over 1 inches. You could have seen it written like this. Let's do a different color. It could have been 8 inches colon to 4 inches. And then that would have both been divisible by 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2 inches. 4 divided by 4 is 1 inch. It can also be written this way. So both of these are correct. This is one way to write your simplification. This is one way to write your simplification, and this is another way to write your simplification. Okay, let's go to letter B. 5 feet over 25 feet. And you would have a common factor. Greatest common factor for both 5 and 25 is 5. So 5 divided by 5 is 1 foot. 25 divided by 5 is 5 feet. Or, this is one way to simplify, you could have been given the problem in this manner. 5 feet colon 25 feet. And you could have then again said greatest common factor for 5 and 25 is 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1 foot. 25 divided by 5 is 5 feet. So both of these are acceptable ways of writing a simplified ratio. It's usually easier when you write it one above the other, but this is okay too. All right, now you are going to be doing the following assignment. This is going to be your day 1. Page 361, number 1, and 3 through 7. Then you're going to also, in addition to doing that day 1 assignment, you're going to also watch the video on, the recording on ratio and proportion, the whole thing, and then on day 2 we'll do all of the additional problems. Okay, the complete assignment then for day 2 will be page 361, 2, and then 8 through 44 even. Actually, it's going to be 361 to 362. Let me fix that. What I would like you to do is take a look at the problems on 361 to 362, the 2 through 2, and then 8 through 44 even, so that you are then able, as you're going through the recording, you're able to say, oh, that's like this problem, and these are like these problems, so that it'll just sort of get you ready to be paying attention to the video as you will need to be doing. Okay, we are going to continue on. On page 358 in your textbook, example 2, you are given a diagram. ABC is the segment. You're told the whole segment AC equals 30, and wants you to find out what AB, segment AB, and segment BC are. Well, you're told in this that segment AB and segment BC have a ratio of 4 to 1. There's your 4 to 1. You can write it 4 over 1 if you would like. So you could also write it 4 over 1 if that helps you. Now, you know the whole thing is going to be, all of AC is going to be the 4x plus the 1x. Okay, so you've got 4x plus 1x, because you don't know what your value is. You just know that 4 times something is going to be the 4x, and 1 times something is going to be the 1x. So 4x plus 1x equals the whole distance of the segment, the whole length of the segment of 30. 4x and 1x, combining like terms, is 5x, equaling 30. Divide both sides by 5, you end up with x equaling 6. So that means that BC is 6, because 1 times 6 is 6. And then AB is 24, because 4 times 6 is 4 times 6 is 24. So the ratio of these two is 24 to 6. And 24 plus 6 is 30. So segment AB is 24 units long, and segment BC is 6 units long. Now take a look at the bottom of page 358. You have been given another diagram, segment EFG, and you've been told that EF's ratio to FG's ratio is 1, so it's a 2-to-1 ratio. So EF is 2 times longer than FG is. So 2x, 1x, and you know that the total length of the ratio is 24. So the total length of this ratio is 24. All right, so you take and combine your 2x and your 1x, you'll be able to figure out what each amount is, each x part. So essentially taking 24 and splitting it into 3 equal sized parts. Show your work much the same as you did in the first example too, and then go ahead and stop the recording now, turn it back on, and see if you got it right. Okay, so you have 2x plus 1x equals 24. 3x equals 24. You divide both sides by 3, and x equals 8. So you could have just taken 24 divided by 3 mentally also and known that you split 24 equally 3 ways, and it gives you 8. So if it's 2-to-1 ratio, 2 times 8 would be 16, and 1 times 8 is going to be 8. So 2 times 8 again is 16. 1 times 8 is 8. Segment EF is 16 units long, and segment FG is 8 units long. Okay, this is example 3, page 358. We're going to actually start using these ratios. It says the perimeter of a rectangle is 80 feet. The ratio of a length to width is 7:3. Find the length and width. Well, the first thing you need to do is get a picture of a rectangle. That makes your life a lot easier. So there's our rectangle. We know that P equals 80 feet. That is perimeter, the distance all the way around the outside edge. We also know that the ratio of length to width. Okay, so length came first, and then width came second. So this is going to be L to W. So we're going to use L for length and W for width. So length to width is going to be 7 to 3. So your length is going to be 7x, and your width is going to be 3x. You can do this in a number of different ways. You could go 7x plus 3x plus 7x plus 3x, but you could also do a little bit simpler formula, would be P equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. I prefer that one. There are other methods, but this is the one I prefer. So we are going to have P equaling 2 times the length of 7x plus 2 times the width of 3x. Okay, we now know that P is 80, so let's go back in and substitute out the 80. Change that perimeter to 80, should have done that first. So 80 equals 14x plus 6x. We combine those, that's 20x. 80 equals 20x. Divide both sides by 20. 80 divided by 20 is 4. So x equals 4. Now that's not what it's asking for. It's asking for us to find the length and width. But that's pretty simple to do because the length is 7x. So length 7x, or 7 times 4, so it's 28 feet. And the width is going to be 3x, so 3 times 4, and so 12 feet. So the width is 12 feet. All right, we're going to go to the next page, and you're going to do a problem which is the checkpoint activity. And then you're going to go ahead and turn the recording back on again. I'll write it down. You can look at it, and then you'll turn the recording back on. Okay, here's the checkpoint problem on page 358. The perimeter of a rectangle is 84 feet. The ratio of the length to width is 4:3. Find the length and width of the rectangle. It's always helpful to draw a picture, so I'm going to ask you to do that, noting that the perimeter P is 84 feet. Just remembering that the perimeter formula, one of the ways to find perimeter for a rectangle is P equals 2 times the length, 2L, plus 2 times the width, 2W. This is not the only way, but it is the way that I have given you. If you want to choose a different formula, you can. There are other ways to do this. But you'll still end up with the same ending answer. Please do this problem on your own. Look back at the previous example, example 3 on page 358 from the book that we just did, and try to solve this. When you're finished, turn it back on and check your answer. Okay, so you've drawn your rectangle. The length is, the longer side is going to be 4x. The shorter side, the width, is going to be 3x. Its perimeter is 84. We take the perimeter of 84, substitute it for P. We have 2 times L. L is 4x, so 2 times 4x. W is the width, 3x, so 2 times 3x. 84 equals 8x plus 6x. Those are like terms, 8x and 6x, so we combine them. We get 14x, so we have 84 equaling 14x. Divide both sides by 14 using the division property of equality, and x equals 6. Now, we're not being asked for x. You need x, but you're not being asked for that. You're being asked to find the length and width. And again, length came before width, so that's why we've set that ratio up. Length was 4x, width was 3x. We know that x is 6, so 4 times 6 is 24 feet. And for width, we know it was 3 times whatever that individual amount was, which ended up being 6. 3 times 6, which is 18 feet. In reality, you could have just said, okay, well, I've got 7 parts. I could have taken the 84 and divided it that way. But we chose to, because we have 4x and 3x. But we chose to do it in this manner, the more algebraic way of doing it. So each of your x parts is going to be 6. You would have had a total of 7x here, another 7x here, which is 14x. You can see it right there. So 7x with 14x. 84 divided by 14 is 6. So there is ways to do it mentally, but again, let's practice our algebra. We're doing 2 things here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put the proportion on a separate recording. So this is all the ratio information, and I'll go ahead and put the proportion on a separate recording.